Hi, my dears. How is your day going? How is your journey in learning English going? I am so excited to have you here and talk with you. Whether you are just starting or looking to improve your skills, this is the perfect place for you. Learning a new language can be challenging, but remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goals. Today, I have an inspiring story for you about Adam, who struggles while learning English. This story will definitely motivate you and help you stay focused on your English learning journey. Dive into the story and enjoy. My name is Adam, and I have a story to share with you. It's about my journey to learn English. I live in the USA, but for a long time, I couldn't speak English well. This made things really hard, and sometimes I felt very sad. But slowly, step by step, I started to learn and improve. I hope my story can help you if you are also learning English. I remember the first time I tried speaking English outside school. I was at a little coffee shop close to my home. The smell of coffee was in the air. I felt very nervous. My heart was beating fast. I walked up to the counter and said, "Can I have one coffee, please?" My voice was a little unsure, and I was afraid the person might not understand me. But the lady behind the counter smiled and said, "Of course. One coffee coming soon," she said. I smiled back, happy that she understood me, but then she asked me something I didn't understand. My smile disappeared, and I stood there, not knowing what to say. I just said yes, hoping it was the right answer. That day, I felt both happy and frustrated. I could order a coffee, but I didn't understand the rest of the talk. It felt like there was a wall between me and everyone else. I wanted to break that wall, but it looked very tall and very hard. As time passed, I saw that learning English was not just about knowing words. It was about feeling good about myself. Every time I practiced, I felt a little more sure of myself. I began to watch movies and shows in English. At first, I did not understand a lot. The words were too fast. But I kept trying. I watched with subtitles. Then I tried without them. I would sit on the couch with my notebook and write down new words I heard. It was hard, but I knew each new word helped me reach my goal. One night, while I was watching a show, I heard a character say, "I've got this." It was a saying I didn't know before. I stopped the show and searched for its meaning. It means I can do this. The next day, I went to the market. I was choosing some oranges when a man next to me dropped his bag. Oranges rolled everywhere. I quickly said, "I've got this," and helped him pick them up. He laughed and said, "Thank you." It was a small moment, but it made me very happy. My friend Ethan helped me a lot too. He grew up in the USA, so his English was great. We would meet at the park, sit on a bench, and talk for a long time. I would ask him about different words, and he would explain them kindly. "Don't be afraid to make mistakes," he often told me. Everyone make mistakes. One day, I made a big mistake while discussing with Ethan. We were discussing our favorite foods, and I wanted to say that I liked chicken. But instead of saying chicken, I said kitchen. Ethan laughed a lot, and I felt my face get hot. "I love kitchen," I had said. I felt really embarrassed, I felt really embarrassed. But Ethan just smiled. "It's okay, Adam," he said. "It's a funny mistake, but now you will always remember the word chicken." From that day, I didn't let mistakes stop me. I laughed at them and learned. Mistakes became my teachers. They showed me where I needed to get better. I also began to read books in English. At first, I read kids' books because the words were easier. I would read one page, then read it again to make sure I understood. One of the books I liked a lot was about a boy named James who wanted to climb a big mountain. The mountain was very high, and James was afraid. But he took one step, then another, and soon he was part of the way up the mountain. I felt like James. Learning English was my mountain, and every word was a step. I also practiced speaking as much as I could. I would talk to myself in the mirror. It felt strange at first, but it helped me feel more confident. I told myself, "Hello, my name is Adam," and practiced different talks. Sometimes I acted like I was at a restaurant ordering food. Other times I acted like I was meeting someone new. One day, I chose to join a group at school. It was the debate group, where students would talk about different subjects and share their thoughts. I felt very nervous. On the first day, I sat at the back, hoping no one would see me. But then the teacher, Mr. Smith, asked me a question. "Adam, what do you think about this topic?" My heart felt like it stopped. Everyone was watching me. My hands felt weak, but I took a big breath and said, "I think it's important." My voice was soft, but Mr. Smith smiled. "Good job," he said. "Can you say more?" I stopped for a moment, trying to find the correct words. And I said, "I think it's important because it helps people understand each other better." It wasn't a big answer, but it was my answer that made me feel happy. After that day, I kept going to the talk club. Each time, I spoke a little more. I listened to other students and got new words. I didn't always have the best arguments, but I was learning to share my thoughts in English. There were days when I wanted to give up. Sometimes when I tried to talk, the words just didn't come out right. I felt upset and thought, "Why is this so difficult?" But then I thought about how much I had learned. I remembered the first time I ordered coffee and how scared I felt. Now, I could talk to people, even if my words were not perfect. One thing that helped me a lot was writing in a notebook. Every night before sleep, I wrote about my day. At first, I wrote short, easy sentences. I would say things like, "Today I went to the park," or "I ate pizza for lunch." But after some time, my sentences became longer. I began to write about my ideas and feelings. Today, I felt happy because I learned a new word. I was scared to speak in class, but I did it. Writing in English helped me arrange my ideas. It also helped me see how much I was getting better. I could read my old notes and see how my writing had changed. It felt good to see my progress on paper. One day, I was in the school library when I heard two girls talking. Their names were Mia and Grace, and they were speaking in English very quickly. I couldn't understand everything, but I got enough to know they were talking about a school project. That's when I realized I was understanding more and more each day. Some weeks later, there was a school talent show. I didn't plan to take part, but Ethan encouraged me to join. "You should do something in English," he said. "It's a great chance to show what you have learned." I wasn't sure at first. What if I made a mistake? What if people didn't understand me? But then I thought about all the times I had faced my fears. I had ordered coffee, helped a man in the market, and joined the debate club. I could do this too. On the night of the talent show, I stood behind the stage, my hands vibrating. I was ready to give a short presentation about my journey to learn English. When they called my name, I walked out onto the stage. The lights were very strong, and I could hardly see the audience. I took a deep breath and started. "Hello, everyone. My name is Adam, and I want to share my story about learning English." The words came out easily, and as I talked, I felt my confidence increase. I shared with them all the funny mistakes I had made, like saying kitchen instead of chicken. The audience laughed, and I felt happy. When I finished, everyone clapped. I couldn't believe it. I had just given a talk in English. After the show, people came to me and said, "You did well. Your story was so encouraging." I felt proud, not only because I had spoken in English, but also because I had told my story. When I think about my journey, I see that learning English was not just about remembering words or grammar rules. It was about practice, being patient, and believing in myself. Every mistake and every fall helped me get to where I am now. If you are learning English, my advice is easy. Keep trying. Talk as much as you can, even if you feel nervous. Listen to others. Watch shows, read simple books, and be kind to yourself. Learning a new language takes time, but each step forward is progress. Mistakes are normal. Laugh at them. Learn from them and don't stop. You'll be surprised at how much you can do. Now, I'm not afraid to speak English. I still make mistakes, but that's no problem. What's important is that I keep trying. Just like James climbed his mountain, I've climbed mine. Learning English has made my life different in many ways, and it still changes a little each day. After the talent show, I started feeling more comfortable speaking English with others. I noticed I wasn't as scared as before. I could go into stores, talk to people, and even ask questions if I didn't understand something. Each time I spoke, it felt like I was taking down that big wall that once seemed too hard to get past. I will always remember the day I helped a new student at school. His name was Ali, and he had just come to the USA from another country. He didn't know much English, and I could see he felt like I did when I was learning. He was shy and quiet, and looked a little lost. One afternoon at lunch, I saw him sitting alone and looking at his food. I went up to him and said, "Hi, I'm Adam. Do you want to sit with us?" He looked up a little surprised and nodded. I could tell he was nervous, just like I used to be when people talked to me in English. We sat together, and I spoke slowly to help him feel at ease. "It's okay," I said. "I understand how difficult it can be. I felt the same way not long ago." Ali smiled just a little and said, "Thank you." His accent was strong, but I could understand him. We spent the rest of lunch talking about the foods and activities we liked. I realized how much I had grown. I once was the one who needed support, and now I was there for someone else. Supporting Ali reminded me how important it is to have support when you're learning something new. Ethan was that person for me. He always had faith in me, even when I didn't have faith in myself. He would support me on when I wanted to quit, and he would be happy for me when I did something good, no matter how small. One of the best tips I can share with anyone learning English is to find someone who believes in you. It could be a friend, a teacher, or a family member. Having someone who helps you can change everything. He can guide you in practicing, fix your mistakes kindly, and give you the courage to keep trying. Another tip that helped me a lot was to set small goals. When I first started learning English, my simple goal was to order a coffee without being scared. Once I did that, my next goal was to have a short chat. After that, I wanted to ask for help when I didn't understand something. Each small goal felt like a win, and it kept me excited. One of my best memories from this time was when Ethan and I went to a music concert. I really liked the musical group, but I was nervous about going because I thought I wouldn't understand the songs or the people around me. Ethan told me to go saying, "You will have fun, and it's a good way to practice listening." At the concert, the music was very strong, and everyone was clapping and shouting. I couldn't understand every word in the songs, but I understood enough to enjoy it. After it ended, we talked with some other fans, and for the first time, I joined the conversation without feeling worried. I told them about my favorite parts of the concert, and even laughed about trying to sing along without knowing all the words. That night, on the way home, I felt happy. I realized learning English wasn't just about studying. It was about enjoying life too. It was about living, making new friends, and not being scared to join in with the people around me. If I can give one piece of advice, it's this: don't be afraid to use English in your daily life. Yes, studying is good, but so is practicing with real people. Go to the store and ask questions, even if you feel shy. Join a club or group to meet people and talk. Watch movies, listen to music, and try to understand the words. The more you use English in real life, the easier it will feel. One of the funniest moments in my journey was when I called customer service to fix a problem with my phone bill. I felt nervous, but I knew I had to do it. I called the number and waited. When the person answered, I started to explain the problem. Everything was going well until I tried to say the word invoice. Instead, I said voice in. The customer service person paused, then started laughing. "Do you mean invoice?" she asked kindly. I laughed too, feeling a bit shy, but I fixed my mistake. We kept talking, and in the end, I solved the problem. I learned two things that day. First, check your words. And second, it's okay to laugh at your mistakes. Mistakes like that happened a lot. But instead of feeling bad, I saw them as part of learning. Each mistake showed me something new. Little by little, I made fewer mistakes and felt more at ease speaking. One day, my English teacher, Mrs. Layla, asked me to come to her after class. I felt a bit nervous at first, but when I went to her desk, she smiled and said, "Adam, I have seen how much you have grown. You have put in so much effort, and I'm really proud of you." Her words meant a lot to me. She gave me a certificate that said, "Most improved student in English." I couldn't believe it. All the hard work, the practice, and the mistakes were finally showing results. That night, I showed the certificate to my parents. They were so happy for me, and I felt like I had finally done something special. But I also knew that learning a language is a journey, not a finish line. There was still so much more to discover, and I was excited to continue. One of the best things about learning English was that it created new chances for me. I began to feel more confident in school, and I even joined a few more clubs. I joined the drama club, where we performed plays and practiced speaking in front of an audience. It was scary at first, but with every practice, I improved. By the time we acted out the play in front of the entire school, I wasn't afraid anymore. I felt happy. Looking back on my journey, I saw that the hardest part wasn't learning the words or grammar. The hardest part was believing in myself. There were many times when I wanted to stop, when I thought I wasn't good enough or smart enough to learn English. But I kept trying because I knew that every little step was progress. If you are reading this and you are struggling to learn English, I want you to know that it is okay to feel sad. It is okay to make mistakes. Learning a new language is hard and it takes time. But you can do it. Every word you learn and every talk you have helps you get closer to your dreams. I want to give you one last tip. Celebrate your progress. Even if it feels small, every step you take is a reason to celebrate. If you learn a new word today, be proud of yourself. If you talk to someone, even if it's not perfect, thank yourself for trying. Every little victory counts. Now, I use English every day. I talk to my friends. I take part in class, and I help other people who are learning, like Ali. But I know my journey is not finished. There is always more to learn, and I am happy to keep going. My struggle to learning English was not easy, but it was good. It showed me to be patient, work hard, and believe in myself. Now I know that when I have problems in the future, I can handle them one step at a time. You can too. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep practicing. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do it. Or as I learned, you've got this.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share for other videos.